So about 20 hours ago, we have our very first Shiba integrated burning system. And it was in such a short span of time that devs have been able to put together a burn mechanic within the Shiba ecosystem. Today I want to go over what this actually is and how in the last 24 hours we have already managed to burn over 100,000 USD equivalent tokens within the Shiba Swap ecosystem, as well as some little secrets and little kinks that we have found within the technical analysis for the Shiba Swap USDT charts. Stick around to the end because you're going to like what you're going to see. We'll be giving away $100 to a random subscriber to kickstart their crypto journey. To enter this giveaway, simply like and subscribe and comment your favorite crypto in the comments below. So last week we told you that the devs were working on ways to implement a functional burn within the mechanics of SHIB and Shiba Swap. Well, today I'm pleased to report that we have the very first confirmed burn mechanic announced. This is very exciting. As we can see over here, projects that want to be listed in the Shiba Swap pools must burn first $25,000 of leash and $25,000 of SHIB as a requirement. The way this works is pretty straightforward. As we know, Shiba Swap is essentially a platform and exchange for various cryptocurrencies, and any new project that wants to be listed on Shiba Swap must first burn $25,000 USD worth of SHIB and an additional $25,000 worth of leash as a prerequisite. This is a fantastic idea by the devs and has been very well received by the community. Now, traditionally what happens with some of the exchanges, though also this will vary from exchange to exchange, is that whenever you list a particular cryptocurrency on an exchange, you have to pay a particular fee. But instead with Shiba Swap, they burn the SHIB tokens that have been put forward as the listing price. So essentially what this means is that instead of the exchanges profiting off the listing on their platform, the users, well, the owners of Shiba actually benefit from burning of the tokens. And that is fantastic for everyone who is currently a holder. Now, this is the very first functional burn mechanic introduced in the Shiba Swap ecosystem. And also Shytoshi has made a post on Reddit, and there's an interesting thing that I want to point out. He wrote, "This is one component of how this works and the other burns on the table." Now, this potentially might be hinting another burn mechanic that will be introduced. As it says here, my medium will go more into detail, but I wanted to post it here first. I'm excited to see what Shytoshi's been working on. I'm excited to see the Medium post. I will let you guys know when this post is being announced. While we're here, I just want to quickly make a quick introduction to the functional burn mechanic that's been introduced. So a standard burn is essentially someone buying a SHIB and then sending it to a dead wallet, much like what Butrun did earlier in the year. While this is probably the most efficient way of reducing the number of SHIB in circulation, it is actually very unreasonable to expect anyone to literally throw their money away like this, at least in any meaningful amount. Now, what the SHIB devs are currently working on is essentially a functional burn whereby anyone who wants to participate in, a listing or any involvement in the Shiba ecosystem, they have to pay a particular price, which is a fantastic idea because that means the SHIB holders will profit the most off of the burn without actually having any community contribution to the burn itself. And within the first 24 hours, we have already had 2 new listings, and that is a combined 100,000 USD burned of SHIB and leash combined. Now, before we look at the next section, I just want to say if you support SHIB, talk about it on social media, share it with your friends, or get your cool SHIB token, link in the description, and this way SHIB will go up quicker. Now, I want to quickly switch over to the charts because it's pretty evident what this announcement has done for SHIB prices. Now, starting from the last 2 days where I was talking about there was a particular bottom, there was a particular floor that SHIB refuses to go below. From that particular point to the peak of the hike in the last 24 hours, we have seen a 44% increase in Shiba prices. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the way I interpret this chart will be very standard, and this will come across in our indicators here as well. I'm just going to switch the buy signals and sell signals back on. So we can clearly see it's pretty evident here as well, because as we can see the Bollinger Band with expanding, we can see that there are buy signals forming. So we have buy signal here ready to form leading up to the particular peak with our stop loss here and a sell when it crosses the Bollinger mid band. Now, as I've mentioned before, we currently saw 1, 2, 3, 4, essentially 5, potentially looking to make a 6 bull flag in succession. As we see more of this on more different time frames, the likelihood and the strength at which the price will break out will be stronger. And in the previous videos, I have always emphasized that if we can make this trend happen on the daily time frame, this will be noticed much more visibly. And as it stands right now, if we go to the 1-day time frame, we can see that we have starting to make the very first bull flag, or the very first formation of the bull flag that is visible on the daily time frame. Now jumping back to the 1 hour time frame, it is normal for the price to have a bit of a retracement before continuing higher. But what we can see right here is that the price is sitting above this support level formed by the increased volatility due to the high at this particular price. And right now we are looking to potentially go sideways for a little bit, and then eventually the next target will be a breakout above this resistance level that is formed. Now the great thing to see already here is that previously the floor of Shiba was around the 60 mark, where the number was ending in 60, 605, 610, and now the number has shifted to above the 7 mark. That means we have so many support levels below this particular 70 level that we have a cushion in that you will buffer the price of Shiba so that it stops going lower. Now for those of you who are still holding SHIB, patience is rewarded and volatility is still to be expected. We are still in a very volatile crypto market and anything can happen. Now I'm excited to see what Satoshi has in store for us next and what potential listings will happen on ShibaSwap, because that will mean more burn and the overall value of Shiba will increase. That's all I have for you guys today. Anyway, as always, take care and catch you guys next time.